GMB, baby. No legging crazy. No legging crazy. You already know what it is. We do this shit, baby. Damn. New on to your hood. We gon' do this shit. You can crown me like a king. I'm ballin', Mr. Clean. I'm on the block just like a fiend. Know exactly what I mean. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother. New on to your hood. We gon' do this shit. You can crown me like a king. I'm ballin', Mr. Clean. I'm on the block just like a fiend. Know exactly what I mean. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother. New on to your hood. We gon' do this shit. You can crown me like a king. I'm ballin', Mr. Clean. I'm on the block just like a fiend. Know exactly what I mean. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother. New on to your hood. We gon' do this shit. You can crown me like a king. I'm ballin', Mr. Clean. I'm on the block just like a fiend. Know exactly what I mean. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother. And me not like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscles. I've been down it through the struggle. All I need is my brother.
What it do? What it do? What's going on? This your boy DL Vlogs, and today we got a conversation that I've seen a lot of people talking about. I want to bring this up before the fundraiser. If you all know, I'm doing the fundraiser for the Dominican Republic. I was originally doing it for Colombia, but I'm gonna do it for DR because what I want to do, I want to give back to people. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to do. So that's the whole point of me doing it. It's not for me per se. It's more for me wanting to give back to other people. Now, let's get down to the topic. The topic of this is love abroad. Basically, can you find love abroad? I've noticed a lot of different opinions on this. And I feel like that personally, you can. I feel like it depends on what you're looking for. What I have noticed is when it comes to traveling, a lot of guys in general, we have this preconceived notion that you can't find a woman abroad, or if you do find one, they may not be serious. Uh, that's kind of like a slippery slope because I feel like in general you can, but the problem is a lot of people when they traveling specifically to that place and places alike, they looking for certain things. So maybe if you were someone who was looking for an actual relationship, then you probably have a chance to find it. I don't think it's so much hard. I think it's more harder to deal with the fact that you know most people are after your money. You know, um, and sometimes men go for supermodels. You get what I'm saying? And then they wonder why they can't find what they look for. Not saying that you should settle. Like me personally, I would never settle. Hell no. But I know exactly what I will be looking for in a woman. You know, so I think it's possible that you can find love abroad. I just think it depends on what you're looking for and depends on how you vetting that person. You know, when it comes to dating and anything like that, you have to vet. And sometimes the intentions of people can still be wrong. So we may think we found the perfect person until boom, that person decides to do whatever you thought that they wouldn't do. So I think, in essence, I think it's possible. I think that you can find love abroad. I don't personally think it has to do with the size of your wallet. Like I said again, you'll deal more with that in America, right? So obviously a woman from overseas, she want basically the same things as a woman in the States. But I think tradition is different because, the way they are raised is totally different compared to women in America. Like you may go to some places in America where you see couples, they 50, 60 years that they've been married. But then you could go to places like in Spanish countries and you'll see the same thing. And I think, and like I said, with me speaking Spanish and with me knowing a lot of people in those countries, I talk to and I see a lot of people, their families that been married and they stay married. Like even myself, I came from a family that was, my mom and dad was always married. So for me, those values are important. And it's more important how a person was raised to me, versus what she looked like, versus how big her ass is. Like it's some things now that don't matter to me no more. So the point of what I'm making is I think it's possible to find love abroad. Like I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. And shout out to the ones who actually doing it. Cause like I said, it's not an easy thing to do. And I know that goes for both sides. It's not easy. But I think it's more important to remember that your happiness matters. The hell with what other people think, your happiness matters. Like even myself, I have to put myself in this category. My happiness matters. I can't be worried about what my brother may think, what my sister may think, what my family may think in general. I can't be worried about that. I have to be more worried about how I feel about the decision that I'm making. So for me, I have always told myself that, that I would do a long distance relationship, but it has to have something, productive to it. Like, I couldn't be in one if I'm just sending money. Like my thing personally, I wouldn't care if she worked at a restaurant. I wouldn't care if she worked at a grocery store, long as it's something that we both being productive. I feel that most people, they look for certain things, and nothing wrong with that because we all have a preference. We all have whatever we feel we're looking for. But I feel like when you get to the point where you're looking for love, then you have to ask yourself, what are you looking for as far as love? Are you looking for someone to just whisper sweet nothings in your ear? Are you looking for someone to just buy you something to eat or it's different things and the different elements that involve that. So for me, if it was me, I would be looking for, if let's just say she has a child, I would be looking for how she treat her child or her children. I would be looking for uh, what kind of value she have on, I guess, marriage and relationship, like those kind of values. You know, when you go through certain things and you've been through relationships and all that, it's certain things that you look for now that you know, okay, well, this will be a red flag because now I know that this how this will be. So, and it's even harder doing it long distance because, like I said, with long distance, you're not readily available, or that person's not readily available. You're talking on the phone, you spending time when you can, but it's mostly the phone. But you have to be assured that it's not going to always be that way. It's going to get to that point where someone is going to have to make that big move, whether it be you or her, or whether it be her or him. Whatever the case may be, someone going to have to eventually do that. And that's where the antennas go up again for men. The antennas go up for men because naturally our mindset would be, well, what if she just trying to get this? What if she trying to get that? And in some cases that may be true. But if you only looking at that part and you're not looking at how that person makes you feel, then you're missing the whole objective to what it is of being a passport bro, or whatever the case it was when they first started this kind of idea. When they first created this ideal of passport bro, I know that their idea was, hey, men looking for love, they finding it overseas, and it really is a lot of successful ones. And it's a lot of other guys who don't want to admit that they may be in love with a woman that's in another country. You know why? Because it's not ideal for them to do that, because other people gonna say, hey man, she just doing this. That's not always the case. I feel like with any place you go, same as America, same as the UK, same as Canada, same as anywhere, if you mess with women who sell box, then 90% of the time you're dealing with someone that you probably don't need to be putting your trust in the first place. However, that's different with women who's not on that. What about the women that is going to work every day? What about the women that is not going out the club? Not saying that a woman that clubs is bad, but what I'm saying is, what about the women that is doing it? And for you women, what about the men that is in these countries that's not going to the club, not entertaining multiple women? Like, it's different strokes for different folks, and I think that we got to get to that point where, do you want to be alone for the rest of your life type shit? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Me personally, I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. So I have to make a executive decision in my own life and say, hey, I'm not going to make this person feel like this. You know what to watch for, and you know what not to watch for. So it's like, if you only focusing on the rhetoric that they using online, then maybe you're not gonna find what you're looking for, because you're looking for what people saying online, and that's a fact. A lot of people have a lot of things to say, and they have a lot of opinions. But this is also coming from people who've been divorced 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Sometimes you have to make a decision in your life that's best interest for you. The dating game in America, in my opinion, the dating game in America, it's okay. And I think for the most part, whatever person preference it is, my preference is I wouldn't date in America again. Like, that's me. I have already said that a long time ago in my life, that I wouldn't do that. Not because I don't think it's good women here, not because of that, because I actually do think. And I've never had a problem in America getting women in the first place. So that's never been my issue. However, my issue is morality. My issue is the kind of things that people are being taught now. Like I said, I came from a family where my mom and dad always was together. So it's things that I may feel that someone else may may not feel. And and that's the problem with the dating scene in America. Everybody have an opinion, but when it comes to love and relationship, you know, opinions is okay. But what are you gonna do to make it work? And what are you gonna do to not waste someone's time? What are you gonna do to not waste your time? That's the problem with the dating scene in America because, like I said, it's too many. It's like a battle between man and woman. That's the dating, like literally, that's the dating game of America. If anybody can tell me I'm lying, hey, you more than welcome to come up. But the dating game in America is basically man versus female. If you're a man, you gotta have this. If you're a man, you should be this. If you're a woman, you should do this. If you're a woman, you do it. Like, and you don't really see that kind of stuff in other countries. Like, no woman that I have talked to, I met in a different country, have ever said that, except for countries that are heavily associated with the West, meaning like heavily, like they watch BT, they deal with things like that. Like they're the only places you see that, like South Africa for one. South Africa is one of those countries that you know is has a culture, has a lot of it, but it's almost still like everything that they do, they follow suit with the West. So you can definitely meet a good woman in South Africa, like that's 100%. But you got to remember also that South Africa is following the West to the T. So you have places where they not doing that, but then you have places where in the city where they is. So it's like it's hard to distinguish certain people and places because, like I said, the West has a stronghold on a lot of things. Now, when it comes to Spanish country, one thing that I have noticed in Spanish country is they values on Christianity, and they values on certain things, it's different compared to how we was brought up in America. So, whereas we in America, where they tell you that, hey, you can basically do what you want to do, and you can do that. In Spanish country, it's not so much like that. Now, you have people that do things because they rebels, but it's not just like that in Spanish country, and it's not just like that anywhere else in the world. It's just only like that in the West, meaning like the UK, Canada, America, places like that. So when I get to the point of telling people, the only thing matters is what you're looking for. If you're not looking for a woman who's dancing in the club, then don't look for that kind. If you're not looking for a woman who's unemployed, then don't look for that kind. And even if you did find one that is, you have to take into consideration that the economy in certain places are totally different than the economy here. Where it may be easy for you to find a job here, or it may take a week or 2 weeks for you to find a job here, it's not the same in those countries. So you have to take in consideration that, just because that woman is not doing this, that doesn't mean that she's a bad person. That doesn't mean that she's not capable of becoming a person that you want her to be in this life. So I think that it's very possible for anybody to find love abroad. And a lot of guys just don't admit the fact that there have been situations where they have caught feelings for a woman, and that may be the case. But the biggest point is knowing that what your values is, knowing what you're willing to accept and not accept, knowing what you're standing on, and as a man, you stand on your own principles. You don't fall on anyone else's principle. You stand on what you believe in, and you make sure that anything that you do is right in the eyes of God. That way, you won't set yourself up for failure, or potentially get with someone who's trying to use you for financial gain. So the moral of it is, it's a slippery slope. It's very possible, because I have seen other brothers do it. It's brothers that's online right now that are married and they living abroad, and it's brothers that are married that are living, you know, in the country with their wife. So it's very possible to find what you're looking for, even in America. It's very possible. Like I said, it's all to do with morals. It's all to do with the way the person was raised. It's all to do with the person's values. And those things these days are hard to come across. So, like I said, for myself, uh, it's things that I know that I would look for in a woman abroad. Mainly, one thing I have noticed that I had said, one thing that I would look for a fact. This is for a fact. The way she complains about problems. One thing I have noticed that anyone that's trying to get money out of you, they indirectly act, which to me that's a red flag. It's a red flag because first thing I wonder is how was you handling your problems before I came? You know, was you okay before I came? Like, did your problem just start when I came? So that's a red flag for me. I watch for things like that. I pay attention to why all of a sudden she got problems now that I'm here. Naturally I would tell a person when I hear stuff like that, I would tell them, hey, well, just hit me up when you get things together. Reason why? Because like I said, you don't want to get caught up in no one's game. And you don't want to get to the point where you setting yourself up to be a Western Union pocket. You setting yourself up basically to be used for financial gain. So you have to be cognizant of certain things so you can make sure that you keeping your head on the swivel, because like I said, at the end of the day, everybody wants that come up. And it's the same way in America. Women don't date for love in America. I'm sorry. If you ever listen to any woman in America talk, most times they will talk about what someone else has. That's just a fact. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But as a man, you have to stand on value. You have to stand on what you believe in. I'm not willing to go pay $100 to take a woman out to state. I'm not willing to do that no more. I'm not ever willing to do nothing like that. Reason why? Because I feel like this. I tell people I like retroactive dating. Somebody asked me, they like, what's retroactive dating? I said retroactive dating to me is I won't ask you to go out. I won't ask to take you out. I won't do none of it. If we just so happen to say, hey, I'm going here, and you come, you take care of your own. You take care of your own meal. Not because I'm a bad person. I feel like you're not worthy of that. But the thing is that the moment you ask a woman out on a date, then you obligated to pay. So I feel like it's different overseas. And the reason why I say that it's different because you do have women that are gonna ask you, to take them out and stuff like that. But who give a fuck? It's not even that expensive. Like, who give a fuck? But you doing that in America, not to even know if you're gonna hear from that person tomorrow. It's counterproductive to what you probably trying to build with that person, because like I said, you gotta know that she more than likely talking to you and entertaining other guys. I'm not in the business of competing with anyone, right? That's just my mindset now. I'm not competing with shit. Like, I'm not competing with nobody. It's not even that important. I feel like when it comes to dating abroad, the value, like I said, is different. I wouldn't mind paying $20 for a steak compared to here you paying $100 for it, $50, $60 for a steak. It's not even that crucial. So look at it as it'll benefit you more if you not. And I'm not trying to persuade anyone to do anything. What I'm saying is I'm speaking on how I feel, and I'm speaking on maybe a minority of people, women and men. It's a minority of people that feel the way that I feel. So for us men, you have to definitely stand on principle, stand on value, stand on what you believe in. And you can't really worry about feelings when it comes to what you believe in, because like I said, everybody got opinions You know that, and like the old saying says, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. So it's like you can't really be worried about what people gonna feel like, for your decisions. These are yours. Like I said, a lot of y'all 40, 50 years old, and y'all still worried about what people think. A lot of y'all pushing 40, and y'all still worried about what people think that don't hold no value in your life. They don't they not giving you anything. They not putting food on your table. They not doing anything. Why the hell we worried about them? The only person that need to be worried about the only person that needs to be worried about your life is you. Because ultimately, when you dead and gone, or when you on your bed of death, you don't want to be alone. So whether you find love in America, whether you find love in Canada, UK, Guatemala, I don't care where you find it. You want to know that at the end of the day, you don't want to be alone. So again, the topic is finding love abroad. I think it's very possible. Like I have seen a lot of good women, a lot. That, and they not looking for money. They not looking for all this materialistic thing. I've even heard guys say, "Hey, I'm not dating no woman with no kids." And don't get me wrong, that's their opinion. And a lot of these guys, they got their shit together, and nothing wrong with that. But you gotta ask yourself sometime, bro. Like, what do her kids got to do with her? You dating her, you getting to know her. You mean to tell me that you would pass up on a good woman because she got kids that she had before she even knew who the hell you was, and you even knew who the hell she was? That's the most ignorant shit I ever heard in my life. However, again, that is your opinion, and that's everybody have their own perspective of things. But I would tell people this, ask yourself, what are you looking for when it comes to love? When it comes to a relationship, what are you looking for? Is what you're looking for is what somebody look like? As a woman, are you looking for how tall that man is? Because you got to remember, he's still a man. For a man, are you looking at how big her ass is? Because you got to remember, she's still a woman. She can still do the same things that anybody else can do. And for y'all women, that man can still do the same things that you were complaining about with other men. It's not different. But what is different is what values they have. Like I said again, I'm only speaking for myself. I grew up with both parents. I've had a bad childhood. For me, I did a lot of wrong. I did a lot of stuff. But what I do know in my life is that I don't want to die alone. I don't want to be alone. So working towards myself, that way I can make someone happy when they do come into my life. That's self-preservation. Self-preservation is a major thing. When you preparing yourself and you preparing your table, that way, only thing that person's supposed to do is add to you, not take from you. So remember, when you do decide to date abroad, you have to remember, what are they adding to you? What are they adding to you? What kind of values are they bringing into your life? It don't have to be financial. It could be mentally, it could be emotionally, it could be physically, all that. It could be a person just showing you the affection that you never had. It could be a person that's pouring into you that, I guess, them words of affirmation that you never was given. It could be things like that. Things like that was missing from my own life. Somebody to just pour into you, and somebody to just believe in you, even though it sounds far-fetched. Somebody just to believe in you, because at the end of the day, we all need that. That's the point of what you need. And a lot of people, when I think, and I may be wrong, but when I think about, what did they start doing it in the first place? When they decided to date abroad, why was they doing it in the first place? Somebody was missing something. Somebody was missing something that they decided that they wanted to give it a chance. And it's like I said, I don't be want to bring people names up, but it's a lot of successful marriage that I seen abroad, and it gives me hope. It gives me hope. So when I do decide to get back out there in the dating game, then I know I'm optimistic about it because I know that other ones are already doing it. Even when things are said that, hey, they don't want this, they don't only want this, they don't want this. I feel like this. People deal with most shit battling with their own mind, making themselves feel like that someone is gonna do this and gonna do that. People deal with more pressure on things because of what they hear from others. So it's like, what do you believe? Do you believe that you're gonna find love? Do you believe it? So yeah, I think that you can. If y'all can, y'all see my cash out. Y'all more than welcome to send some. I am accepting donation because, like I said, I want to give back to the people in Dominican Republic. I originally was gonna do it for Colombia, but this is not the official fundraiser. I decided to get on here and chime in because I wanted to just have a quick discussion. But for the people who is here, you are more than welcome to give. Because like I said, our proceeds are going definitely be going towards. I don't care if I have to walk and pay for somebody groceries. I don't care, but I'm definitely gonna be doing that for some families there, and that's just out of the goodness of my heart. I'm gonna use some of my own money, and I'm definitely gonna use money from this that's being donated. Even if I don't get $1 in donation, one thing I'm gonna do is give back, because I'm gonna tell you why. For the last couple months, I've been having it real bad, and I thank God now I'm slowly getting where I need to be. And why not be a blessing to someone else? Man, I'm talking about, I don't give a damn if I had $20. If I can help somebody with $5, I'm gonna do it. Like I said, it's just something about putting yourself in a position where you can be the best version of yourself. That way you can put other people in a position to be the best of themselves. Man, this life ain't about having everything, but this life is about being able to contribute to someone else. To me, that's being the best that I can be, when I can do something for someone else. So, on another note, like I said, if you're able to, hey, y'all see the cash out, just don't, hey, give anything. I don't give a damn if it's $1. Anything good to show that you support. Because like I said, for me, I started this YouTube journey back in 2017 with the ideal of doing like a family channel and things like that, and it was going pretty good. I remember being places and people seeing us, and they were, they said who we was, and it was good. I decided to switch up the mode because, like I said, to me, YouTube has always been something I enjoy doing. Always. Like I always enjoyed it. I never knew what God had planned, but I know now that I want to get into it and get to pushing. And like I said, this also is a part of my journey. And if God decides that I meet a person overseas, and that's a part of my journey still. So it's like things are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but it's like, you have to be patient, man. Nothing gonna happen overnight, man. Like with anything, with anything you do, you have to be patient. And remember that only thing on your side is you and God. So back to the original point of the whole live. I don't want to get off track, but I just want to say this. If you're a brother that's dating overseas, or you're a sister that's dating overseas, what attracted you to that person? You have to ask yourself that. It's just like any relationship. It don't matter if it's in America, outside of America. You have to remember what attracted you to that person in the first place. And if you're someone that's going overseas just for fun, then you have to remember that, you're going to attract a portion of who you are. That's what the Bible says. You attract basically a portion of who you are. So if you are not so good person, then you're not going to attract a good person. If you're a person, that that do wrong or did wrong, you're gonna attract someone who got that same mentality as you. First, you have to learn to forgive you. Then you got to learn to change the way you was. Change the way you was. And then make sure you heal, because when you heal, you your cup is clean, and that way you can give someone else a clean slate, and you don't have to feel like they're gonna do you the way that you feel that someone else did you, or you won't be feeling like that. Hey, I need to do them like this before they do me. Like, that whole mentality is wrong. And one thing that I have noticed is that a lot of these relationships that's online, I mean not online, just long distance, most of them didn't start online. Y'all have to keep that in mind also. Most of them didn't start online. Naturally, people meet and they meet online. You got a lot of guys who date in South America, but they won't take the time to learn Spanish. First off, that's one of your problems. If you ever gonna succeed, have a successful relationship with a woman in South America, specifically, I would implore you to, at least try to learn, because, like I said, a relationship like, now, this is something that I've seen, and I won't say any names or nothing, but I'm just gonna say what I've seen. I've seen most relationships that probably could have been good. I'm talking about probably could have been good. I've seen most relationships end because of the language barrier, and it wasn't no fault of nobody doing nothing wrong. It was just the thought. It was just the fact that it gets frustrating to both people when they can't understand each other. Then, after the frustration, someone has to feel like, hey, look, it slowly stop talking, and next thing you know, it's there. So I feel like, whatever you do, make sure first you traveling for culture. You traveling to learn. I don't consider myself a passport bro, but I love the ideal of what they stood for. I love the ideal of what they stood for, because they stood for something that a lot of men is missing, and that's a fact. They stood for a lot of things that a lot of men are missing, and that was the whole point of a lot of men, black men specifically, that was traveling for in the first place, because it was something they was missing. In America, black men have the highest divorce rate. In America, black men have the highest unemployment rate, next to our black women. So it's like something was missing. And I commend the ones who took a chance, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And I can only imagine, for the regular working class person like myself who just work, I can imagine how hard it would be for me to deal with something like that. But I'm still optimistic, because I know that it's not gonna always be long distance. You just got to get to that point where you feel like, hey, this person is for me, I'm for them. It's time to make it official. Once it gets to that point, then like, that person is yours. You don't want to be in a relationship where you question it. Hey, is this person just trying to do this? Like, it shouldn't have to be that way. Especially if both people's intentions are true. And like I said, in America, it's difficult because, like I said, especially as black people, and this for black men and women, it's difficult because most women have a survivor mindset, and the men, we have the same survivor mindset as them, meaning that women looking for benefits and men looking for benefits. So when you get two people that come together, or even trying to come together on something like that, the problem gonna always arise because both people's mind is on the same thing. They not looking for love, and a lot of us really is. But the problem is that you may meet someone who's looking for that, but the conditions on that is you better have this, you better have this, you better have this, and you don't even really see that with nobody else. You don't really see that. Like, you don't really see that with nobody else. You see that with black people. And that's the reason why, like I said, black people have the highest divorce rate. It's a lot of things happen. HIV, black people have that. between the Black and Hispanic population, HIV, unemployment, diabetes, high blood pressure, all these things affect us, but nobody paying attention to that. So it's like I love the ideal of what those black men stood for when they created Passport Bro. I love the ideal of it. What it's become now, I can't say that it's those guys because I know that it's not them, but it's the subgroup of Passport Bro that's making it look bad. I love the ideal of what it stood for because it made people like me and others have hope. That's why a lot of people started traveling abroad. Then it came to the point where now people going for mango. You know, y'all know what I mean. And that kind of, I'm not gonna say it mess things up because hey, whatever you do, that's your business. You know, but for me, I would want to be someone who says, hey, this is my wife. Hey, where's your wife? When they ask where's she from, well, I can say, oh, she's from Colombia. Oh, she's from Brazil. Oh, she's from where, you know, Honduras. Like, you know, whatever the case, I can say that, and I can be a beacon of hope for someone else, right? You know, it's hard out here. It's hard out here, and it's even more harder for people who really do have that conscience. When you have that conscience that you know, like, hey man, I don't want to sit around and just be messing with multiple women all the time and be doing it. When you have that kind of conscience, then you realize how hard it is because, you know, you may meet someone whose mindset ain't on the same thing you on. Now, if you're almost 40 and 50 years old, then come on there, like, man, how much time you got to waste? You don't have that time to waste. That luxury is not a part of our existence, like to the point where we can just keep doing it. And like I said, whatever you choose to do with your life, to each his own. But me, man, I don't want to be doing this shit till I'm 50 years old. Man, by the time I'm 50 years old, I want to be with my wife, with my children, sitting somewhere, we at the beach, we spending time together. That's what I envision for my own life. I don't care what nobody else do with their life. I'm talking about what you eat. Do not make me shit. I don't care nothing about what nobody else do with their life. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, man, what are you gonna be doing 10 years from now? What if it do work? Or what if you do meet someone? Would you gonna treat her like she ain't shit just because she here and you there, and you ain't looking at the fact that, hey, look, I can build something with this person and I can see what things like, man, like my mind is so on another level because, like I said, I see people that's doing it that's older than me, and a lot of other ones that I see that's older than me doing it. It's almost disgusting that, like, you know, and like it's just good. And I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm a handsome guy. I think that I'm a very handsome guy. Like I said, I've never had no problem getting a woman in America. I've never had that problem, so I can't even speak on what nobody else going through. Like, I can't speak on nothing that nobody else going through because I've never had that issue before. But what I would say is this, you know, being that I didn't have the issue, don't mean that just because I don't have the issue, I have to sit and deal with anything. You get what I'm saying? I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want in my life. I know exactly what you know, when God bring that person, I know for a fact that what it would be. I'm not naive to think that also that someone's intentions can be bad, you know. But I do understand that, like I said, in order for you to find what you're looking for, you have to first be healed yourself. And I've healed myself. And I've accepted the things that I can't change. So of course I'm at that point now in my life where, hey, it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. Focus on your happiness. Focus on it, and that's where it's at. So that's why I came with this topic, because maybe this topic will give a lot of y'all to understand that whatever that Passport Bro movement was, it stood for something positive, very positive. And it took a select few of people to create a negative out of that. It took a select few people to make it seem like something that it's not. If I had to say that I was a passport bro, I would be the version of what it meant at the time when I first heard it. Because what it meant at first was if you decided to date out the country, you looking for love out of the country. And that never meant that it's not good women in America. It never meant that. But what it meant was is if you was looking for love, hey, you have been through this in America, you've been through this, you want a different objective. Because like I said, your world is open. And that's what a lot of people don't get. And a lot of people will not have that luxury of doing what you're doing. So you have to understand that for you, my brothers, y'all know who I'm talking about. For my brothers that are doing it, your world is open. You don't have to accept the bare minimum from people who treat you as an option and not a priority. You don't have to accept it. So what? There's more women in this world than men. You don't have to accept what one person don't like about you. Just find another one. And guess what? You may find that person that bring out that part of you that was asleep the whole time. I'm telling you. So I would say this, whatever you feel that's in your heart and that you're looking for, do it, man. Like, you only get this one life to do it, and unfortunately we don't get a chance to respawn, and we can't pop back up. We can't lose a life like on a game and come back. We can't do that. You only get this one time, and you get this journey one time, and if you've been through this journey, you already know. Ain't no do-overs. Ain't no, hey, let me do this over, let me make it right. Nope. Ain't none of that. Make it right the first time. And that way, like I said, you can enjoy your life with someone. And you can enjoy your life happy. And you can be happy. I wish everybody happiness. I wish everybody fruitfulness. I wish everybody true love. Everybody need to get to that point where love matters. For me, I like black women. But that don't mean that I have to date in America to find a black woman. Right? I love my black women. But it's just as much as I love them, the truth that's in America is that sometimes the biggest enemy to a black man is his black woman. That's the truth. And that don't mean that you have to deal with that. Sometimes it means just, hey, if that black woman ain't doing right, and you see it, and you feel like it's probably going, and look, and I would say this, because this ain't the bad black women. Because even for you black women, I would tell y'all the same thing. If y'all feel like that the men here in America are bad, then y'all are just more encouraged to do the same thing. I encourage everybody to love, to find love, whatever love looks like to you. If love looks 6'7" to you, if love looks like six figures in the bank to you, then hey, whatever love look like to you, you find it. But what love look like to me, I'm very simple. I don't need all that. I don't need a woman with 6 figures. I don't need a woman that look like she stepped off the runway. I don't need all that. I'm very simple. Somebody just love you who the way you is, accept you for you, encourage you to keep doing better. Somebody who to push you in the right direction, because as a man, it get hard sometimes. And sometimes we need that encouragement from the person who we say we love. We need that encouragement. So it's like, sometimes a man needs that push. Because like they say, behind every great man there's a great woman. Remember that. And a lot of people need to remember that. And for specifically for my black women, y'all need to understand it. This is not a bash or anything towards y'all, because I love y'all. For real. That, and it was, I was at a point before that I didn't. I was at a point long time ago. I used to feel like, hey, maybe if I date this kind, things would be this way. But now, I had to remind myself that, y'all are the cradle of civilization, that. So it's like, we have to get to that point where we love each other. So that means for the brothers, fortunately, you have options. You have black women all over this world. And yes, you can find love in another country. You can find love. Like I said, there's people that's doing it now. So I'm very optimistic about that journey. So it's like I would say to people again, just keep doing what you're doing. Like if you traveling, just keep doing what you're doing. If you're not traveling, hey, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. But one thing I do want to say to people is that your happiness is what matters. Shouldn't matter about what nobody else thinks. Shouldn't matter about what people online saying. Shouldn't matter about people saying that this person doing this or this, that. What matters is how you feel. And when you get to that point in your life where nothing matters but what you feel, I promise you're gonna be happy. That's where I'm at. It don't matter about nothing nobody feels no more. Because like I said, people talked about Jesus, right? All the way up until he died. And people still talk today. So imagine how unimportant you is to anybody else. You may be unimportant to them, but somebody out there right now is gonna make sure every day that you feel important. They're gonna make sure every day that they hear from you. They gonna mean it. Not no talking to you for 2 or 3 months and then they just whispering and sweet nothing. Because normally that's how things go, and then it changes. But you gonna meet that person. Like even my own brother. I'm happy for my brother because my brother met someone that make him smile every day. And that's refreshing to know that. Because that's another thing that gives me hope. It gives me hope to know that, maybe you wasn't appreciated by someone else, but it's someone out there right now that's gonna love the hell out of you. And they just so happen it may not be in your country. You got to keep that in mind. But you have to remember, just because it's long distance, don't mean it's gonna stay long distance. Brothers, sisters, I need y'all to understand that. It's not gonna always stay that way. It's not gonna always be that way. The funny thing about love is that it happened unexpectedly, and when you know it's real, but it happens unexpectedly. Like, it's not no situation where you've been talking to someone for some time, you had sex with them, and then now you feel like you love them. No, it's not a situation like that. Love don't even have to have sex. Love, you don't even have to have sex. Like, already how you feel about that person without even having to give them your body. And the funny thing about it, it comes unexpectedly. But you got to understand the difference between vulnerability and when it's on time like it needs to be. Being vulnerable is not the same as naturally falling in love with someone organically, because sometimes you could be hurt. You could be at a place where you was vulnerable, and then that situation come and it feel the same. So you have to be patient. And like for instance with myself, a lot of people won't believe me. Like, I've been very patient. I've been abstaining from a lot of things because, like I said, I've been more focused on bettering my own self versus pouring myself into other people. I've been abstaining from sex. I've been abstaining from a lot of things that's important to me. You get what I'm saying? So like for me, I'm at that point where I know if love came, I would know what it looked like, because I'm not vulnerable. I'm not in a place where I'm having to heal. I'm not in a place where I know that I need to take care of this. Right now, all I'm doing is working and coming home. I'm not concerned about anything else. So once you get to that point in your life where you matter, and what matters to you is how you feel, then yeah, it will be very possible for you to find that. But if you go into different countries and all you're doing is paying for play, like if you go in the country and you're doing that, then like of course you're gonna be someone that says that you can't meet this person, you can't meet that, because that's not what your intention is. But don't wait till you 50 years old and then decide, hey look, I'm ready to settle down. Okay, then you're gonna settle for anything. Me, I'm not. That's one thing about me. I'm not fit to settle for anything, because I know like my potential, right? So I'm not gonna settle with no anything, and I'm not gonna wait till 50 years old to decide, hey, look, it's time for me to do it now. Like, I know what my potential is. I know what I have to offer. So it's like now I'm at that point in my life where, hey, everything coming to fruition. And for the people that's here, I appreciate y'all for coming in, like I said. And for the new people that coming in, hey, like I said, y'all can donate. Like I said, I will be giving back in Dominican Republic to families. That's my whole purpose. That's my whole thing. Like I said, when I travel, I want to do it for the culture. Like it's not like it's more or less, the fun, blah blah. But like I said, I travel to learn. I have taught myself Spanish. Can't nobody say that they taught me anything. And the things that I did learn, that I'm willing to be a student. But I have educated myself on a lot of different things. You'll be amazed what kind of things I know. Because we sit on YouTube and talk about nonsense, but y'all will be amazed the things that I do know. I'm very intelligent. But sometimes, like I said, you speak that into people who want to hear those kind of things. And for the people who don't, it's okay. That your journey is yours. Mine is mine. But I'm grateful for everything that I learned. I'm grateful to the Most High for all the knowledge that He bestowed upon me and that I can give to others. And for the people that's willing to listen and be educated, hey, let's all learn together. And it's definitely things that I know that I can teach. So I'm gonna close it out with this, man. Like, yes, I'm gonna close it out with this. And my summary of it is that yes, you can find love abroad, and it's possible to do that when you know what you're looking for. Like, peace, love, and light to everybody, and be looking out like it. We going somewhere now, y'all.
New on to your hood, we gon' do this shit. You can crown me like a king. I'm ballin', Mr. Clean. I'm on the block just like a fiend. You know exactly what I mean. That mean I like a hustle. I rip my fucking muscle. I've been down it through the struggle.